Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. Funny thing, I actually just did that entire stream, but I forgot to turn on my screen, so I'm going to restream it for you right now. So we are well rehearsed. That's all right. All right, so let me turn on my screen before I almost forget. That would be insane if I did that twice. The easiest sell you could ever possibly have is somebody has their AC break and they call you or go to your website, but most people throw that away because they don't have a good website or they don't have good CTA. It's insane. My name is Jacob Chappell. If you don't know me, I am a former contractor, former jet engine mechanic in the C-17 in the Air Force, and now I help people learn how to do online things like this to give you enough time and cash to enjoy your Saturdays. All right, so I've built this demo website here, and I'm actually going to pull up my second browser real quick just to make sure that I have my stream is actually indeed going live again, and I think it is. I built this demo website that is completely interactive, so you can see all the different segments, and it also has different segments, sections for the website as well. I will put this on my website later on, j1systems.pro, so you can go mess around with it, learn how to build a website. You can reference it to Claude, like copy the URL and say, hey, Claude, here's a website that Jacob built that I like. Can you teach me more? Can you help me build a website myself like this? Okay. So it's going to be a good, handy little resource for you, but we will dive into it in 1 second. I said on the last stream that I think the stream would go about 20 minutes. I ended up being able to get done about 15 minutes. So I'm going to slow down a little bit and explain everything out to you. Okay. So again, I have notes here to where you can click on these little notes here and you can see what each section is, and it explains to you what each section is. And then I also have the different parts of the website too, like above the fold, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll dive in right now, and we'll start with section 1 here, or the button 1. So right here, this is a sticky header, and what that means is that as I scroll down the website, it stays in view. The reason why this is important is because you have your phone number here and a book online. These are what we call CTAs, call to actions. Have 2 of those at the top. Okay, so you have a hard call to action or hard CTA, which is a call. Hard meaning that like picking up a phone call is like very direct right now. And then a soft CTA like book online. It's passive. I can book online. I can talk to you later on. Okay. The second one, this is like the most important thing on your website, is what you call the 3-second test. And that is what you do, where you are, and call to action or take action right now, basically. Okay, so what I wrote down here is what we do, where we are, and the outcome, essentially. Okay, so fix today, that's the outcome. It's fixed. And we have a hard CTA and we have a soft CTA. Okay, so again, very, very important. You don't have to do it in this order exactly and the way this is worded exactly. It's just what we do, AC repair and installation in Phoenix, fix today. Okay, so hard CTA, soft CTA. Okay, and then we have a pretty standard quote form, self-explanatory. You can fill that out. And then I'm actually going to explain the sections too as we go to the site anatomy, but I will toggle this on and off so there's not too much clutter, and I'll show you. Okay, so this first section that we have here, this is called above the fold. Think about it, this came from newspapers. So if you had a newspaper and you were holding your hand, everything that you were seeing was above the fold. If you wanted to see below the fold, you'd have to unfold it. Think of like page 2 on Google. Okay? And let's see. I was thinking about telling a joke, but it's a bad joke, so I'm not going to tell it. We have our Google reviews since 2009, same day. That's our promise. This ties in. You don't necessarily have to have this. This ties into the trust bar. This is the authority signals, meaning that the number one thing that we need to have to hire somebody is trust. I need to be able to trust you. Okay? Trust you. You trust me. And that's what we built here. We have our Google reviews, which is 4.9, 312 views. What reviews? What I would actually do is I would do this, but I would add the Google logo as well, because Google has a certain amount of trust associated with it already. And then you have your license number. So your license and insured. Great. Awesome. 24/7 emergency service. And then flat rate upfront pricing, which means that there's no hidden fees, and I don't feel like you're going to try to pull something slick on me or something like that. Value owned since 2009. Okay? You've been around for a while. Great. I can trust that. All right. Then we have, and this is, I didn't click on this, but you can read more about that, everything I told you right there. Okay, we have the stakes. So what happens if you do nothing? Meaning that a lot of times, like when something happens, we will dread taking action to get it fixed because of the cost, the time, whatever, the stress. And so there is a decision fatigue. What if the AC breaks. What if I could fix it myself? What if I could call my dad, my uncle, my brother, and they could help me fix it, right? But this right here is kind of raising the stakes a little bit, putting a little bit of fire underneath them. Like, hey, the AC broke, whatever. If you don't fix it now, here's going to be the outcome, right? It's going to cost you more money. It's going to cost you more stress. It's going to cost you more heat exhaustion, whatever. Anything you put in there, basically give them a little bit of a push, okay? And I wrote that here as well, okay? Then we have the next section, which is the services. This is where a lot of people get lost because it's like, I want to tell people, you know, my services, all my services. People really don't care. They're going to call you because they have a problem they need fixed. And you just need to have those listed as a generalization. But this is not the most important thing. As I mentioned earlier, this is the most important thing, okay? What you do, where you are, what you do, highlighting too much, what you do, where you are, and then the outcome. It's fixed today. Awesome. Okay, fixed tomorrow, fixed within 48 hours, fixed within 72 hours. Whatever your promise is, that's what you put out there, okay? So services section. Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm going pretty fast again. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to answer them, okay? This is the empathy and authority section. So this is basically saying, like, we've been in your shoes and we know what it feels like. It sucks, okay? You're in Phoenix and your AC goes out. That shit is rough, okay? We get it. And basically, it's creating more trust, essentially, is what it's doing, okay? And this directly guides them into the next section, which is the simple steps. Okay, so another thing happens, I talked about a little bit earlier, is decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is where, like, I don't know what to do. My AC broke. I don't know who to call. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Maybe I can fix it myself. Maybe decision. I'm fatigued. What you're doing is you're roping them in here. You're saying, look, all right, this is all you got to do. Call or book online. Step 1. Step 2, get a flat rate quote. Okay, no hidden fees. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Okay. Step 3, enjoy your cool house. Boom, you're done. Oh, thank you. Okay, you basically just roped them in and you're guiding them to the outcome. Okay, cool house, right? That's when they called you. Their AC is burning. Their house is burning up. And then you have social proof. Again, I talked a little bit earlier about the authority section too, about like why they, this is like why they need to trust you, right? Like you have good reviews, you're licensed and insured, you don't have any sneaky prices, anything like that. But then there's a certain thing that's called, or there's another thing that's called social proof. And that is where, like, we are all like zebras and we have a certain stripes. You could call it a pack, a tribe, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But essentially, we want to fit in with everybody else. So you might ask your neighbor, like, hey, who did you call? What was your experience? What did you do, right? And there's this social proof. And we're doing the same thing here, essentially, by taking Google reviews, and we're just putting it here. Like, somebody else who hired us, this is what they said. Okay, social proof. Somebody else who hired us, this is what they said. Social proof. Another person. Social proof, okay? That's just creating more trust. And then we have a frequently asked questions page. This is mainly for the AEO, SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. That's classic. People go to Google. They search HVAC contractor near me. Boom, you pull up, okay? The second part, and this is new, is AEO, answer engine optimization. So if you go to ChatGPT, or now Google has AI built into it, which is pretty cool, and you type in, how much does an AC repair cost in Phoenix? Well, the AI is going to pull from either your information or somebody else's information, and they're going to pull this up. Most AC repairs in Phoenix run $150, $650, whatever you put here, and they're going to source link it to you. So think about this. Next time you go and search something on like AI, look at the actual source and go to it. It will be somebody's website, or it will be a blog post or something like that. And that's why AI will say not all answers are correct, because essentially it's just pulling it from other people. Okay? It doesn't mean it's a fact. It just means it came from your website or somebody else's. But in this case, it's advantageous and it helps us because it's driving traffic towards your website. Okay? So frequently asked questions page. You need it. All right? And then this is the final CTA, so this is what you close with. Your AC doesn't care. I'm sorry, I highlight this. I can't highlight it. It doesn't highlight very well. Your AC doesn't care how hot it is outside. We do. Call now or book online. Either way, you're on the schedule in minutes. Boom, right there. Call us 24/7. Boom, 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 done. Super simple. And then this right here is what we call a lead generation or a lead magnet. This essentially is you're giving them something for free. So you could build this like, the Arizona AC survival checklist of like how to keep your filters clean, how often to check them, what you need to have on standby. Like for me personally, since I live in the Phoenix Valley, I have a spare air conditioner, like a giant floor unit that whenever my AC goes out, I can cool my house down with it, which I usually just use it for one room because it gets nice and cold in there. But it's something to have. It's something you could give to them, okay? So what you're doing essentially here is you're allowing them, or you're getting them to drop in their email address. So you're getting them on a email list. And then you're giving them something of value, a packet, a PDF, whatever. Like, here's your survival checklist. And now we have a lead, okay? Then you have, see, I got to slow down. I'm talking so fast. Now you have this serving the Phoenix Valley. So basically, this is where we serve. This is the areas we serve. It's pretty straightforward. This is for local SEO and stuff like that. And then I don't want to get into this, but this is like schema. This is like code and stuff like that. Basically, don't overthink it. With AI now, it's super easy. I can do it with my website. I can say, hey, Claude, I want to make sure the schema is right. And it can make sure the schema is all good. It's basically a code thing in the background, but it's important to have. But you don't have to know it yourself. Hire it to somebody else or use AI. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. And that is it. We finished actually faster than I did last time, which was 15 minutes. I should slow down, I think. I've been going a little fast, but it's pretty straightforward. My key takeaway with this is the most important thing on a website when I land right here is what you do, where you are, and the outcome. Okay? So my AC broke. I'm going to go to an HVAC company, and I'm going to say, okay, this person does AC repair and installation. Great, because my AC broke, and I need them to repair it. But where are they? Well, they're in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I am. Okay? Well, how fast or can they fix it? Fix today. Oh, they can fix it today. Or 48 hours, 72 hours, this week, whatever you want to say. Oh, okay, there's the outcome. Boom, done. That's it. Have two CTAs, have a hard CTA, a soft CTA, have a form, and then have this right here that follows you down so they can see this as well. Okay? Pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please let me know. DM me, comment, just get a message to me, and I will help you. As promised, I'm going to take this website that I built that has these interactive sections on here. I'm going to put it on my website at j1systems.pro, and you can go on here and you can reference it and learn from this website of like what would make your website better. You can also take that URL, give it to Claude, say, hey, this guy built this website teaching how to do it, the different sections. Can you help me do my website the same, or can you explain it to me further? And you can go from there. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much, and I will catch you next time. Okay, you'll have a good one. All right, bye now.